Ah, here we are. Yeah. Ah, here we are. Great. That's good. Everybody hear me? Great.
Yes.
So don't know what the problem was, but hopefully we've got it solved now because
If
You
you have
sound
any,
great.
thank
yeah,
you.
if you have
Good.
any EQ, Stephen, on your mic system, you could tweak it a little bit because you're muddied, but I can hear
I'm
you okay.
muddy.
Yeah, just it's a little bit like that. It's the quality of the mic, so
Maybe,
it's an EQ thing.
maybe
Huh.
you're not using your good mic. Maybe you're using the headphone mic. I mean,
Right.
yeah.
I suspect that it's the headphone mic.
Yeah, so
That
you're
could
not
be it.
using your podcast quality mic.
All
Yeah.
right, hold on. Let me audio, microphone. I don't know. WH2037A. I think that's the headphones.
Yeah, I think, didn't you have a Yeti or I don't know what kind of mic you had, but is your mic
Uh,
there next to you on the desk?
yeah,
Might not be plugged in.
certainly possible. Let me take a look. I've got so much confusion. So many of these.
I know you have a lot of cords.
Yeah, no. See where this one goes.
My internet decided that it was just going to randomly turn off. So I had to.
Testing, one, two, three, four. Testing, testing, one, two, three, four. Speaker. Is this still muddy?
Is
Better.
it a different mic?
I don't. Steven's iPhone microphone. Black hole 16 channel, black hole 2 channel. Testing, testing, testing.
I mean, it sounds okay, but
Yeah, it sounds okay. It's just not as crystal as it was last week.
Okay. Well, I will work on figuring that out.
Guys,
I will
happens to me
definitely
all the
work on
time in my concerts.
Yeah. Test speaker, test speaker. Okay. Test microphone. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know what it is, but I will assume that we will be able to communicate
Oh
yep.
yeah,
regardless.
Oh yeah, you sound good.
Right.
No echo. We solved
Okay,
the
good.
major
Well,
problems. Now it's
let's get
fine
started
tuning.
because I really want to be able to interact with people today in the time that we have. So hold on for just a second. Let me get my intro, and we will get into it. Bum, 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 bum. Documents.
Hey everybody, good to see you.
Great. Okay. We are basically ready to go. So, um, Sonali, would you like to get started?
Yes, just one second. I'm chatting. Okay. Alrighty then. Let me get to my script. And Rosebud. Welcome to the Life Writing Podcast, where married authors and screenwriters Stephen Barnes.
And Sonali, do talk about writing during stressful times, breaking into Hollywood, and balancing life.
Honey, I'm sorry I'm gonna Rosebud you because we had a big ding. Could you shut down your
Okay.
Facebook?
Yes, I can. Facebook is now shut down.
Great. And I'm going to put mine on Do Not Disturb for the next hour. And let's start over again. Okay, Rosebud, welcome to the Life Writing Podcast. We're married authors and screenwriters Stephen Barnes.
And tonight we do talk about writing during stressful times, breaking into Hollywood, and balancing life.
Every episode, we'll share more tips on how to build a better life while you create your dream projects.
Even if it's only at the rate of one sentence a day. Life writing is the application of the tools of writing to life and the tools of life to your writing.
Hey, 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 hey. Oh, I don't think I shared my sound that time. Darn
No,
it.
you
Okay.
didn't.
Well, okay, now I am. And so I'm gonna do my hey hey rosebud. Hey, 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 hey. Woo! We are here. We have all survived another week.
Indeed, we have lots of interesting things going on in the outside world, but right
That's
now,
for sure.
let's focus on the things that we can control: our lives, our emotions, our actions, our focus. And before we get started, I just kind of wanted to give you an overarching thought that your ability to keep your word to yourself is essential, absolutely essential. It makes no sense to complain about what resources you do or don't have, what the world is or is not doing, until you can keep your word to yourself and master those first 5 minutes of the day. Do that, and you'll get the leverage to do everything else you're trying to accomplish. So, Tananri, let's go into what's going on.
Why don't we talk about I had it queued up and everything and then it disappeared. So, wow. Okay. Sorry. Hey, I have an idea.
Chicken night in Turkey right now.
Let's talk about what's let's talk about what's going on. Hello, hello, hello. It is almost Valentine's Day, which when I was single, I hated. And then once I got married, I mean, we've never really thrown ourselves into Valentine's Day, honey. I mean, we appreciate each other, we love each other, but it's so funny when I was single, it hurt so much on Valentine's Day. And then and when you're in a relationship, sometimes you don't even appreciate Valentine's Day, you know? It seems like something people who are dating should be doing, like dressing up and going out. But we have extra reasons to really want to cherish each other for Valentine's Day in 2026, considering what a struggle we had with some of Steve's health struggles in 2025. So I have a renewed sense of gratitude. And instead of watching War of the Roses, which was one of the things I used to do for Valentine's Day when I was single, we're actually going to do something. We're going to actually leave the house. We're going to do something for Valentine's Day, which we don't always.
No, we don't. So, but did you want to get more deeply into it, or did you want my thoughts on Valentine's Day?
Um,
I wasn't
your
sure whether you were
thoughts,
finished.
I'm done with my little spiel, so your thoughts are more than welcome.
Yeah, I think that I try to give holidays are times when we get to focus our attention on something. I really love them. You know, you focus on love at Valentine's Day, you focus on gratitude and giving at Christmas. You know, focus on gratitude again at Thanksgiving, all that you've got there. Um, on Halloween, give thanks for all that you had to fear and that didn't kill you that year. Um, so if I wake up every morning and give thanks for the people that I love, and I'll go through, the morning ritual, which is the thing that we want all of you doing, is for the first 5 minutes of the day, you own yourself and you wake up thinking about your breathing and give thanks for life. Then you move to your heartbeat, and there you give thanks for love. And so every morning I give thanks for my wife, for my son, for my daughter, my sister, for my students, for my teachers. It's just, it goes all over the place. But you could conceivably start with your heartbeat and then go to your breathing, or your breathing and go to your heartbeat. But, but the third point, going to your head and giving thanks for another day in which you can take a step towards your goals, another day in which you can take action to remember the meaning of life, which is to escape suffering, embrace joy, and be of service. Another day for you to do these things. And all you have to do is take one step. Take that one step. And those first 5 minutes of the day are so critical because you're taking that first step. So I'm going to go with Tananarive to a book event that she has to do tonight. And then tomorrow we will play, on Valentine's Day, we will play virtual mini golf with my daughter and very, very dear friend, Brian Fuller. And then we will find some way to celebrate our life and love together later on in the day. I have so much to be grateful for that I guess I feel like I don't want to wait for the holidays to give thanks for it. So holidays can sometimes feel like just another day because I'm very careful to bring the emotions that we ordinarily have at holidays into my life every single day. Gratitude for what you already have, what you've already experienced up until this moment in your life. God knows there are terrible things. God knows there are problems. But to a large degree, life is like riding a bicycle through the woods. Yes, you notice the trees. The trees are the obstacles, but you have to keep your attention focused on the space between the trees, or you will crash. So acknowledge them, but keep focused on, where's the opening? What's the thing I can do? What am I grateful for? If we know that there are things that we hate that they happen, we fear that they might happen again. But the only power we have is today, is in this moment. You have no power yesterday, and you have no power tomorrow except for what you do right now that reflects what you've already experienced and plants a seed for what you want tomorrow. So that's kind of my attitude about Valentine's Day. I'm absolutely going to take the advantage to let my wife know how much I love her. I have some really fun gifts that I found that hopefully will arrive in time, but they better arrive today. Other than that, otherwise I'll give them to her when she gets back. Simple as that. Because every day I need to be sure that this amazing woman that I love knows that I adore her, that she means everything to me, that I'm not looking for any exits or side hatches or back doors. Um, she's the one I was looking for, and knowing that and feeling that with every bit of my being. The next thing is how do I show her that that is the truth? Because she doesn't get to do this part of her life over. She gave this part of her life to sharing with me. If I don't understand what the implications of that, I'm not worthy of that gift. Anyway, so
Oh, can if I
moving
could
on
just
from the mushy
add
stuff. Go
one,
ahead.
it's not but one more thing I want to add. I mean, I think it's not so much taking the relationship for granted that we don't always throw everything into Valentine's Day. I think it's because we do celebrate each other in small ways every day. Like literally, we do a blessing dance at least 5 days a week where we hold hands and sing our love to each other as part of a program he learned from a great therapist. And it's been really good for us. We hang out every night and watch something on TV together. And we always have. I mean, like all the time. Even like years ago when we were struggling more, when we were living outside of LA and my mom was sick and dying, it was sort of the hardest part of our marriage. And we still watch TV together every night. We are each other's best friends. So celebrating you early, honey. I love you to my best friend, my collaborator. We're still coming up with amazing ideas. I've dedicated my next novel to you, Maisie Wood. Well deserved because you are all over that book. And love you, darling. Love you.
I tell you what, you have the right to turn me down on this. But could we do our blessing dance for people so they can know more clearly what it is we do every day to keep our love alive? Because the ritual that I'm asking you guys to do every day is just your personal version of the blessing dance. That's all it is.
I mean, I'll do it, but everyone needs to understand that singing sounds terrible on Zoom. So if you know that, it won't be that we're terrible singers.
Although I
It's
am,
that,
especially
no,
if
you
my
have a
voice
better
is just
voice.
still recovering.
Yeah, but so okay, so we can reenact, like let's do a side by side thing. Hold on one second. Let me spotlight myself. Uh and then I'm going to spotlight you. Oh, wait, where's my spotlight? Hold on. I
Well,
thought,
I can do it.
where did I
That's
disappear to? Oh, there we are. Okay, so we turn to each, oh,
okay.
turn.
So basically, what we do is, and we do this at our 10:30 meetings. We do our business meetings at 10:30, and we bow to each other.
All right, turn to me, honey. Wait, the other way. The other way.
Uh, uh,
Okay.
okay,
We bow to each other.
okay. Then I reach out my right hand and put it over her chest, over her heart,
And I put mine over his heart.
and then I put my hand over her hand, and she puts her hand over my hand. Okay, and we look in each other's eyes.
If you're gonna do it, turn back around.
All right, all right. We look at each other's eyes and we breathe 10 times together.
We won't do all 10. It's like we don't want the
We'll
dead
do
air, but
three,
yeah, 10. Okay, so we breathe deeply, staring into each other's eyes, and then we sing.
and then we sing.
You
You are
are
my
my
beloved.
beloved.
I
I
open
open
my
my
heart
heart to
to you.
you.
Then we
5 more
take five
breaths.
more deep breaths for three.
And then
And then we give a
we
hug
huggy.
for 5 seconds, 5 breaths. Okay. And then a little kissy, and then we get into our meeting.
Yay.
It is it is confirming our marriage every day, confirming our love every single day. And I ask you a serious question. If you had a partner and you did that every day, and every day when you look in their eyes, you make a commitment, I open my heart to you. And they say that they open their heart to you. Can you not feel how that helps to anchor a marriage, a relationship, that Tananarive and I made a choice to walk this road of life together. It's as simple as that. We were traveling at the same speed towards a roughly same destination. We felt and saw each other's energy because we knew our own. We knew our own purpose. When I saw her, I saw her. I saw her aura. I saw her energy. I saw what she was. And I said, oh my God, it was like being hit with a bomb. I have to get this woman to stop and give me a chance to show her who I am. And 72 hours after we met, we were functionally engaged, and we've been married for 27 years, 20, working on 28. So it's a matter of knowing yourself. When you know yourself, you know the people, you know other people because you understand humanity. To the degree that people confuse you and disappoint you and you trust them and it doesn't work out, the problem is always you didn't know yourself well enough and you didn't extend that knowledge of yourself to the other person. Because if you've known yourself deeply enough, you know what people are, you know what they do, you know their strengths and weaknesses because they're universal. We're just little human beings trying to get through life. And speaking of that, let's
And
talk about other
but
things.
and it also does, I mean, I just want to add, I know you keep
Okay.
trying to move on. I also
Yeah, I
want to
keep trying to
add
move on.
that if you're not in a relationship, maybe you're happily single, right? Which is the best way to be to get into a relationship. But that's the catch 22, isn't it? But if you're happily single, you can affirm these things to yourself. And I think this will segue into what you want to talk about eventually, honey. I think that affirmation of self-love is really the foundation of a healthy relationship. And
Well, in a
Stephen,
healthy relationship with yourself.
helping you
If
having a
you
relationship with yourself.
if you can listen to the blessing dance, and then you listen to what are we talking about in terms of the 5 minute morning ritual, and if you can find the way that these are both two different versions of the exact same idea, the exact same thing, when you see that, I'm not going to make that explicit for you. This is something you need to work out for yourself. When you see how they're the same thing, you have jumped up a level. And what we want you to do is to fall in love with yourself every day. Fall in love with your life, with your potential, to forgive yourself for your imperfections, to understand that the word perfect does not exist as an adjective, but to perfect, the verb to perfect does exist. That's
Uh-oh.
what we have. To wake up in the morning and say, Marcus Aurelius would wake up in the morning, I am waking up to work at my job, and my job is to be a human being. To wake up every morning and accept yourself and love yourself, flaws and all, gives you the knowledge to look out at the world and realize everybody else is doing the best they can do. But forgiving them for doing the best they can when they have transgressed does not mean forgetting that they limp morally. If I had limped morally, if I did not carry my own power, I would not have been worthy to walk at Tenerife side. Simple as that. Can you even imagine a lioness like this settling for anything less than a lion? I had better not doubt my feline nature. I
I,
better not, because the instant I do, I will either be afraid of losing her or I will try to hold her back. So if I love her with my whole heart, every day I remember I better be that bitch. I had, I had
honey,
better walk off.
at first I thought you were calling me a Linus, like the Peanuts. Linus, Linus.
Where's your
I was like,
blanket?
wait a minute.
Where's your blanket?
I don't know about all that. But anyway, we have a story, and we both went through very similar paths to find each other, and we believe that it is a replicable process. So a couple of years ago, just gonna mention it, we put together a course called the Soulmate Process, and if you haven't seen it, check it out, www.thesoulmateprocess.com. It's what we did to prepare to meet, how to foster our self-love, making a list of the qualities we wanted in a mate. We didn't even know each other, but we went through very similar paths, and it's an interesting course and an interesting process that we think you can do too. But
Yeah,
anyway,
the other
now,
thing,
honey,
the other thing I want to say is that everything we do in here is extracted from the life writing process, fire dance, and the warrior-walk.com process. Now, that is a book, it is a course, and we want you all to have a copy of it. Here's the thing, if you cannot afford it, we will give you a copy for free. And we're not bluffing about this. The people on this call, you have given us your time. We want to help you. We want you to actually lighten the world. And if the meaning of the world is to escape suffering, embrace joy, and be of service, then we need as many people who can be of service as possible. In order to be of service, you have to show that it is possible to act with integrity and still get your dreams, with integrity and get love, and integrity and have health, integrity and make that money. If there's so many people who believe that they cannot, for instance, be honest and kind and still get what they want out of life, they actually believe that the good things go to the people who are dishonest and cruel. They believe that, which tells you something about what they really think about the human heart, the human soul, the nature of humanity, and the nature of their own being. They are self diagnosing. What I need each and every one of you to do is to believe that being a good and decent human being can also mean having everything you wanted in life and figuring out how to do that. And that's what we're here for. So let's talk about what has happened in the last week and how we use these things to do that. So you get started, sweetheart.
Well, mine is a little bit more writing related, and yours, I
Yes,
think, is a
nothing
little
wrong with
more
that.
life related. But I've mentioned in the past that I have served as an instructor and a judge for the George R. Martin Intensive Writing Workshop that Northwestern University's Medill School of Journalism hosts every summer. They've done it for 2 years now. This summer, upcoming, it's a third year. And I have the honor every year of going through applications from journalists, some of whom have been working as journalists for 30 years or 20 years or 15 years, and they've always wanted to be novelists like I did. And George R. R. Martin was a graduate of Medill, like me, when he was at Northwestern. We weren't there at the same time, but when he was at Northwestern and when I was at Northwestern, I did feel some genre bias, which is why this fellowship happens in the journalism school and not the English department, I suspect. But in any case, he really wanted to make sure that people like us, people who trained as journalists and worked as journalists, but secretly also wanted to be novelists, have that opportunity. And boy, did they deserve it. And as I'm going through the applications, and there's so many, I mean, I had 24 in my stack, and picking a top two is next to impossible, and picking a top 10 is next to impossible. But I have figured out a couple of principles that help people jump to the top of the list. And it kind of echoes some writing advice I saw from C.S. Lewis earlier this week, although I didn't copy it, so I will be badly paraphrasing what C.S. Lewis said about it. I think sometimes learning writers try to start their stories with sort of an information dump, right? Like, I am the master of this world, so you're going to, if it's fantasy in particular, you're going to see every valley, you're going to see every glen, you're going to see the forests, you're going to learn all these terms I just made up for people's positions in this world and terms I made up for their currency in this world. And it's, yes, you're displaying some skill there, but there's so much more to a well-written sentence than jumping when it comes to jumping to the top of a list. And C.S. Lewis's advice and my advice as someone who's been reading a lot of manuscripts is the most important thing I need to understand is whose story is this and some hint of what their dilemma is. C.S. Lewis did not call it the oh shit moment, which is what I tell my students. But to start a story in a sense of a mini crisis, like your character is moving through the story. They're not standing in front of a mirror dressing for the day. So, as an author, you can convey everything they're wearing and exactly what they look like. Okay, maybe at some point, but at the opening of a story, do I really need all that? No, what I need to know is who is this? Where are they? What are they doing? And what is in their way? Like, what is their problem? And, unfortunately or fortunately, prose is conflict driven. So, and that doesn't mean that you start your story with your character in an argument with someone. Because if we don't know the character, we certainly don't know the person they're arguing with, and we don't understand what they're arguing about. So it's kind of over our heads as melodrama, like from page one. Like, you think it makes us care, it does not make us care. What makes us care is knowing who we're writing about, a glimpse of their world and their navigation through it, but only in service to what do they want and what's standing in their way. And if you can give me that in page one, I will keep reading. And if you can sustain and build from that, like maybe now we pull back and see more of the land and the glens and the trees and the elders and their weird names you made up for them or whatever it is. Okay, just pull back a little bit, but don't pull back so far that we lose focus on that protagonist who is carrying us through the story. Because your land is not the protagonist, the room is not the protagonist. It's the character we care about. Always will, always have. And that's where you need to focus and show off your shiny science fiction words or your shiny literary language in pieces here and there. But don't dump it on me from the first page because I might go, huh, but I won't care. What you want is your reader to care. And I'm
Okay,
going to just leave it at that.
let's relate this to the concept of life writing, of taking the tools of writing and applying them to life. What Tananarive just said is genius level dead bang truth. How does this relate to our lives? The universe doesn't care what we think. The universe doesn't care how we feel. The universe cares what we do. Your character is either shown in action or they're really not shown at all. Action will then influence the world around them. The way a character acts will reveal your sense of what a character is, what a human being is. The way the world responds to them tells us what you think the universe is. What is the ethical structure of the universe? And every time you write a story, you're going back and forth between these things. What are we? What is the universe? This is the question you have to ask yourself every day when you wake up. Who am I and what is the world? You determine your understanding of who you are is determined by what you can promise yourself to do and do. In other words, if you're too grandiose, if you say, I'm going to run a marathon tomorrow, you're not going to do that. But you could say, I'm going to walk around the block, or I'm going to run around the track, or I'm going to put my tennis shoes on, or my track shoes on, or I'm going to go and buy some track shoes. You can do the small thing, which then builds up your sense of, I am a person who can keep their word. Who is the character that you're writing? And who is the character in the story of your life that you need to be, in one sense, the hero of the story you're writing? Those are the things that we're dealing with. And the reason the 5 minutes is important is because that's a chunk of your day that you can actually control. And learning to control that first 5 minutes, you'll find out, God, I don't remember to do it. I let myself get blocked from doing it. It's embarrassing to do it. Whatever it is that stops you from doing that is the same thing stopping you in a larger sense, only you've created a controllable world. This is very much like somebody coming to us and saying, I want to write a novel. And we say, write a short story first, because a short story is a smaller and more knowable world. Or write a sentence every day. One sentence. The ability to write one sentence is the seed of being able to write a best-selling novel. The ability to put on your track shoes is the seed of running a marathon. If you can find the seed, our blessing dance is the seed of having a successful marriage. If I look at Tananarive's eyes and I'm singing, You are my beloved, am I telling the truth? Am I lying to myself? Am I harboring anger? All that stuff goes through me. And I see, can I hold her eyes, which always shine with love? Can I reflect that love and feel that I'm worthy of it? You are my beloved. I open my heart to you. Is that the truth? Am I opening my heart? Am I holding back? What's going on here? Just the seed of everything we are is externalized into one small action that we do every day. The seed of everything you are is contained in the first hour of your day. If you're getting too busy to take any time to yourself, if you're letting the world come rush in and control you, if you're reading the news before you connect with your heart, what are you doing? If you're scanning your email and answering everything that other people want from you, your life is a list of other people's agendas. You must be the captain of your own ship. Your your domain, your kingdom is your mind and your heart, and you have to be sovereign within that kingdom. Everything you're looking for, all the external goals, are not about achieving those external goals. They're about being in the state of mind and heart that you believe achieving that external goal will bring to you. In order to do that, you have to be a particular kind of person. Every day, you're a particular kind of person. And you define that as, if I could be this person, if I could do these things for 10 days, I would accomplish this goal. Or 100 days, or 1,000 days. Then all you have to do every day is check, did I do it or not? If you did, let it go. You had a wonderful day. You could do that. Now I lay me down to sleep. You can go to sleep knowing that you did everything in your power. Now, if you choose the thing that you're doing such that the doing of the thing brings you joy. Tanari and I love writing. We love writing. Every day that we get to write, we're living our dream. If the writing also pays our bills, fantastic. Isn't that wonderful? So we work it out so that if we do the thing we love, we get to live the life that we want every day. And that's the reward. What you guys notice is the byproduct of the reward we already got. You see the books, you see the stories, we take trips, we do this, we get honors. All that stuff is a byproduct of living your life with integrity every day, knowing yourself enough to take small goals that will take you towards where you want to be, and then every day doing it, doing that. What are your goals? Who are the people who've accomplished your goals? What kind of people are they? Do you want to be that kind of person? Find a person who you wouldn't mind being that kind of person who could accomplish the kinds of goals. So the magic formula we talk about, the MAGIC, the M stands for model or mentor. Every single morning, I think about my core mentors, Larry Niven, writing, Steve Muhammad in martial arts. Between the two of them, if I have a specialized need, like, our goal is 90 days from now, we need to be ready to direct a feature motion picture. We need to be able to be taking those meetings and doing those things and making those plans. Who do I need to be to do that? God knows I'm not that guy today. I would not want to have those meetings tomorrow. But if I tell myself in 90 days, if I can learn 1% per day, I'll be ready. I'll be there. Jordan Peele could do it. Ryan Coogler could do it. James Cameron could do it. So those become kind of a cluster of role models. So what are the questions that Larry Niven would ask these people if being a director is what he wanted? What would Steve Muhammad ask of these people if being a director was what he wanted? Because both of these people are masters, world-class grandmasters in their fields. And when you get masters together talking about life, they say the same things. They're more alike than they are different. Sweetheart,
Yes.
I thought for sure you were about to say something.
No, no, no. I'm just listening.
Okay. Then what I would like to do now, if you don't have anything else you'd like to add, then I'd like
Nope.
to say that I'm working on, I I think I got finished with the first draft of the new novella I'm working on with Larry. We you have don't you have a poster you'd like to share with our group tonight?
Oh, okay. Well, on my Instagram today, I revealed our temporary poster for a project you have heard about ad nauseum. Let me pull it up on my screen first. It'll take me a second to pull it up, honey, and then I will share it. Just 1 second. Don't spotlight me yet,
Okay, I won't.
because I'm
So
just
what we're
looking.
going to
In
want to do
fact,
now, by the way, if
oh, whoops.
yes,
What?
do that again.
I am okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, my buttons are going crazy. I'm using the same thing
This is a
well,
family gathering, by the way. If you can't tell
thank
that
goodness.
this is not business. This is
I know,
hanging out
right?
with friends and family.
We sure
Okay.
are. This might not make the broadcast, but anyway, let me find let me find the poster I'm looking for. Here it is. Here we go. And wait. Oh my goodness, so much to look for.
By the way, if you like what we've been talking about today and you think it's going to be useful to you in your life, give a thumbs up, give us some hearts, let us know. Anything you need from us to make your lives better, just let us know. We're willing to answer any questions, to share any information we have. We are in uncharted territory right now in our lives. We are creating as we go. Ah, yes.
I'm not sure we haven't shared this before, but this is our temporary poster for The Keeper, our short film. which is going to be released to streaming in September, which I would be applauding if I still had my sound bank up, but I had to get rid of my sound bank to pull up the poster. But yay, this is our post. Oh, did I cover it? This is our poster. And it's literally a freeze frame from basically about 20 seconds into the movie. The movie is about a young girl who moves into her grandmother's house after her parents die. I don't think that's spoilery to say so. And this is when they're about to begin their journey and the story together, standing outside of her house. Everything's about to change for both of them. And I do
Indeed, it
mean
is.
everything.
And everything's about to change for us, for me and Tanari. We did not, I never thought about being a director, but the company that was interested in making our movie asked us if we would be interested in directing. Now, my last remaining lifetime goal is a feature motion picture. What I did not anticipate is that I'd have to make it myself. And so I had to ask myself the question. I'm scared by by the notion of doing something like that. But am I willing to face that much fear and responsibility in order to achieve the last goal that the little kid inside me is holding on to? And the answer is yes, I'm willing to die on that hill. I'll give it everything I have. And so they came up with a way for us to practice directing a film by having us cut our script down to 23 minutes and make a short film, which was
Yep.
funded by a Japanese company called Samansa. And we did it. And
Yeah, and we're very proud of it. Oh my gosh, so proud of it.
yeah, and we will work out a way to show, everybody in family. We will do that one of these weeks. We will let people know that if they come on the Zoom, we will show the movie that day. We can't give you the link to it.
We'll use a
Uh,
code word. Because the only reason we're being that careful at all is because we are submitting it to several film festivals. And one of those film festivals is going to want to have premiere rights. And we want to keep our virginity intact until someone gets the premiere rights. So anything that we do, like a friend and family screening, we can't make it sound like we're premiering it anywhere.
I'm keeping my virginity until someone brings flowers. That's what I'm saying.
At least dinner too, honey.
That's right,
Don't be
dinner
so
and
cheap.
flowers.
Flowers don't even live long.
That's right. That's right. Well, look, live flowers, live flowers. So what I
Virginity's
want to do
gone
now
forever.
is to open the context for you guys to tell us what's going on in your lives, either the way you are using these principles, and we want to hear about your wins, or you would like some advice. You get either a hug and a high five for wins, or you get some advice. But I'd like you to tell me from 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 how many points you got in the last 24 hours.
And
Did
remind
you
people what those points are,
those
honey.
those points are for doing your morning ritual, which we've talked and we can describe again easily. Waking up, doing a scan of yourself, being grateful for your body, your health, be grateful for love, being grateful for hope. You know, and then writing down your goals and doing the sun salutation. The physical action of writing down your goals moves them halfway between being in your mind and being in the world. The single sun salutation locks it in your body. That is a physical action. We're talking about an incantation here. You are making a prayer. You're casting a spell. You are throwing the bones, and then you are moving yourself, representing the way you will act with integrity and energy and purpose in your day. So just let us know. We will go over this, but let's get started. Larry, um, turn your camera on, dude. Let's see ya. Okay,
There he
great.
is.
Hey, sorry.
Great, Larry.
When my internet crapped out earlier, I thought my camera was still on. I wasn't paying attention. All right. So I have a few wins this week that I just want to share.
All
Um,
right.
I didn't get that interview. They were kind of singing me a song, but fuck it.
Okay, I want you to start by how, in terms your morning ritual.
Oh, well, I did the breathing, scanning,
Good.
the thought about the things that I'm grateful for,
Okay,
and
good. Did you write down your goals?
and I wrote down a couple of goals today, in fact.
Good,
I
excellent.
All
did
right.
not get to the sun
Okay,
salutation
okay.
part of it.
But here's the whole point. As long as you didn't have a zero, you're in the game.
But I did
Sun
not have a zero.
salutation. If you could do
Um,
sun salutation as close to it as possible, you could have gotten 5 points for the
yeah.
day, and that's motoring it. That's much more rapid. So you did not get the meeting. Okay, how did you feel about that?
I was kind of pissed off, but it wasn't unexpected because people been singing me a song for a while now in this whole job search. I've been ghosted and other things.
Mm,
Um, it hurt, but I didn't. I think even a month ago, it would have just like ruined my whole day and carried into my weekend. And it's not doing that.
That's great.
I'm
That's
obvious.
great.
I mean, in the moment, I was obviously pissed off.
Sure.
I'm broke and I'm bored, and those
Okay.
things.
So let me.
But
Money is your concern, right?
right,
So we've talked about the book Think and Grow Rich several times. Have you at least listened to the condensation of it yet?
I have not.
Okay, good. So what you want to do is you want to look at that. You respect us, you respect this space. I make a specific recommendation to you, and some part of you won't go and look at it. The part of you that will not invest that time is the part of you that you're going to need to deal with. You're
Okay.
going to need to deal with it. Okay. It's, no, this is an experiment. You do these little things, you perform an experiment. How did the world, how did you react to it? Or how did the world react to you? Just you look at it, you got information. That information, you continue to gather that information. I'm learning about myself. What stops me from doing it? What so just to kind of practice, if you had to make a guess of why you wouldn't listen to that, and there was a part of you that was resisting, what would you guess that part was?
Um, I think there's a part of me that's resistant because there's a part of me that's afraid of success.
What
I
happens if
mean,
you succeed that would be negative? Who would
uh,
you be making wrong? What would you lose? What's the pain?
no, you know what? I don't really know all of that. I just know that there's a part there that
Good.
definitely is.
Then what has happened? The default is success does not match your self-image. That
That's
you
probably
your
true.
self-image is one of struggle. That you do the best you can, you're a good guy, you're going to keep trying and trying and trying, but the way the world is and the way you are, it's not going to happen. That there's a part of you that believes that. And
That's
two, one of the most, does that make
probably
sense?
that's probably true. I mean,
Okay. So in that sense, you might have, you got two different options here. If that is true, you got two options. You either have to change your self identity to a more successful personality, or you find the place inside you that has already experienced success and you nurture that part. So you could go back to everything in your life that you have learned to do was once impossible, including standing up and walking. You fell down and you got up. You, if you find the part of you that understands how to win in an arena in which you have already won, you look at the things you already mastered. That part of you, I remember Jerry Pournell said to me, Steve, if you master anything, you know how to master anything else. Find the part of you that already understands the kinds of things we're talking about when you set a goal and you have to believe that it's possible. You have to do research to find the ways that it works. You have to keep your mood steady. Everything you've already, if you made a list of everything you've already mastered in your life, you would find that there was a commonality. All you need to do is apply those commonalities to the new arena, and you're taking the part of you that knows how to win and using it in a different arena. those are your two basic choices. They both work.
Yeah.
And if you use them both at the same time, you know, digging into yourself, finding out, well, who am I really? I'm a person who has survived all this time. I'm a person who loves, I have learned, I'm smart. Okay, so why is this thing hard? And the only other thing I will say, because I want you to read that book, I would like very much for you to come next week having already listened to that audio. Okay,
Okay.
if I get the chance, I think that I put it into chat. I
You
put a
did put
link.
it into chat, and I have it another place too.
That's right. So it'll take you 40 minutes to watch that. Then once you do that, we can discuss the 13 principles there, how you have already used them in other arenas of your life. Because Napoleon Hill did not
Oh, the
invent this
video of
stuff.
all this was kind of right there. Super good.
He observed it. Somebody, I need you guys to
I
mute
just
yourselves.
unmuted them. I mean, I just
Okay,
muted
great.
them.
You already understand. Like the 13 principles, I guarantee you the first 5 to 8 of them are stuff that you have an unconscious competence in other arenas of your life. Dig it
Okay.
up to consciousness because once you see that, then you can start saying things like, what is the pain I associate with changing? What am I afraid of? For instance, my mother told me point blank once upon a time, Steve, if you show white people how smart you are, they will kill you. If you need to look at how that might have influenced my academic career and my actual career, you'd be right. And if you want to know why would I spend more than 50 years studying martial arts, you can easily trace it back to that fear that if I don't stand up and make the world know who I am, I'll be crushed. But if I do stand up, I'll be attacked. I need to stand up. So, how do I stand up with strength? By not being willing to let my fear of death, my fear of rejection,
Right.
stop
Fear
me
of
from being
success.
who I am. So,
Let me.
go ahead, T.
I was going to spotlight myself into this, but I can't see my video, so I can't spotlight myself. But oh, there we are. Thank you. I did want to ask you, Larry, because when you first started, you mentioned what I consider a win, which is that you didn't have the same emotional reaction that you would have had a month ago, which is huge. And I wanted to give
No,
you applause.
I, and also, I mean, a day later, I have a friend who's a recruiter. Most of what she recruits for is out of my wheelhouse, and I have no experience in. So, but she does help me with resumes, and I just decided I was going to take that time that I could spend stewing because I didn't get the position. I'm going to talk to this friend. We'll look at because she had some ideas about tailoring for certain things, and at least that's better than sitting there crying in my milk over, you know.
Great. Action.
Uh,
Yes. Action is so important.
but the other
Vastly better,
wins,
Larry.
there's because there
The other win. Go ahead. You have another win.
there's a
Go for
couple
it.
more.
Go on.
I
Let's
finally got
go.
rid of my janky ass bed that was
Yay. Oh, so
has
you're
given me so
sleeping
much
better.
back pain.
Yes.
It should be ready tonight.
All these are
Um,
huge wins. I'm going to go ahead and applaud that
and
one.
the third is 'cause I mentioned in the life writing on the life writing site about a story that I'm writing, which is kind of a horror rope-a-dope because I watched Diabolique, which is one of my favorites,
Oh, God, it's
where
wonderful.
you think you're watching one
Simone
kind of
Signoret.
horror and then no, you're not. You're watching something
No,
else.
don't say what it is. Don't say
I'm
what it
not.
is.
I'm not.
Okay,
It's
good.
just you think it's one thing and then it lures you in and then punches
Yes,
you
it
in the
does.
face
It's
with something
classic.
else. And it's classic. And that gave me an idea for my story that I committed to getting at least one page a day, and I've already gotten like I think I wrote 3 or 4 pages yesterday.
Oh my
So
Well,
God,
see,
even better.
yeah,
that's a
it's
stupendous advancement.
I'll
Yeah,
need
that's
I'll need
great.
readers when and editors when I'm done with this. I don't know how long it's going to be.
We'll,
It's not
we'll
novel
be there
length,
for you. We'll be there
but
for you.
I,
Larry, you are coming here and bringing your heart.
it's a
If you
win
will
because I
commit
haven't
to
written
getting that
anything.
job,
in so long.
Yay. Yes.
You
So you're
commit
writing
to
after a
getting
long
a
time.
job and writing stories. In the process of helping you with stories, we will teach you everything you need to get that job because it's just accomplishing a goal. One goal is writing a story, another goal is getting a job. It's the same stuff no matter what. So this is good. This is all good stuff, Larry, and I'm very proud of you.
And I want
This
to
is good.
thank you
Awesome.
all for.
And thanks for
Oh,
sharing with
thank,
us. That's
thank
amazing.
you. Thank you for being part of this community. I'll just go into chat and share with people what's worked. And I'm going to go right now to Alexander James Adams. Honestly, one of my favorite people.
Thank you. Well, I wanted to report a fairly decent win. Since we talked last week, I
Okay,
have
first
been
of all,
very
first, before you do the win, tell us
okay.
how many points in the last 24 hours.
10.
Oh,
That's why I
wow.
Oh,
wanted. That's why I
get
wanted to
on with your
report.
bad
More
stuff.
applause.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to report.
More
Um,
applause.
so yeah, I have been very, very, very able to be consistent with the 5 minute, actually not the 5 minutes, it's a little more than that.
Yeah, I understand.
But the ritual itself, the morning ritual, I have been extremely consistent with that since we talked on Friday last week. So I have not missed a single day. I have done everything I'm supposed to do in not necessarily in the order. I find that
It's okay.
I tend to want to write things down after I've done the sun salutations because if I
That
write the
often
things
is true.
down,
Yes, that's perfectly fine.
it gets too easy
Perfectly
to
fine.
go, oh, I'm distracted and I go into work.
No, no,
So
no, no. No, this is perfect. This you are absolutely respecting the spirit of the exercise. 100%. In fact, when you start changing order of things, but you still do it, that actually shows that you're integrating it. It's not something outside yourself. You're not just following the recipe by looking at the book. You actually understand what the different ingredients are for and can begin to play with it a little bit. So go ahead. Go ahead. This is great.
so the first couple of days it was pretty easy. And then I noticed that as far as physically, because most of my work is here on this in front of a studio on my butt, so I don't do a lot of physicality. After the first couple of days, I noticed that my body was a lot tighter, but not in a ouch ouch kind of way, but in a kind of a yeah I got this kind of way.
Okay,
And
so you felt more internally integrated.
yeah,
Was it
yeah,
you didn't have pieces of your body kind of bouncing around as if you had water balloons hanging to you? It
yeah,
was just this is
disconnected, discombobulated,
yes,
and not quite all there. And
yes,
and I
yes.
I, I just found that when I moved, because I have a couple of dogs that I get to walk every morning, and while I'm walking, I can feel all these muscles that are tighter than they were. But like I said, they're not tight in an ouch way. They're tight in a yeah, we got this way. So
Excellent.
that was nice. And about the third to fourth day, that's when things got interesting because the I got up and I started to do the salutations and everything, and I was a little bit tighter. My body wasn't quite sure what to do, and it was because there was a starting of stress in my life that was coming back to haunt me because I'm constantly haunted by these, shall we say, past life challenges. Uh, and this one
Now, like
resurfaced.
me, like me, Alexander, you're working on your second life.
Yeah, pretty
We
well.
are both in our second lives. Is one of the reasons I love you.
You'll have to talk to me about murder attempts, and I'll be able to confirm it. Yes,
Okay.
I think I'm on my fourth at this point because the other
Okay.
three
Fair
failed.
enough.
But anyway, um, hi. So I didn't really realize the stress was there, but I noticed that in my body I was being more resistant to doing the ritual, and I was like, nope, nope, do the ritual. And so,
Good.
ouch. So I did, and so then I got through it and then, started my day and the stress came up in full focus and I started looking at it and dealing with it. And that's when my body, when I got up from sitting there and dealing with it, that's when my body started to hurt. And I'm like, okay. So it's really become very clear to me that a lot of the obstacles that I get in function are coming directly from these outside stresses that I have no control over, but have to deal with. And in some respects, it actually, that knowledge helps me regulate it, because along with these stresses is a CPTSD.
Okay.
And so I will get triggered. And you the unfortunate part about triggering is that somebody else has done it, but it's not theirs to control. It's on the person that's suffering it.
Here,
That's why it's a trigger. It's
let's
like the
take a
gun's
look.
in my hand,
Let's take a look at some things here, Alexander, because
Sure.
you've given a lot to chew over here that I think would be useful to look at. The Stoics have this expression that we are not affected emotionally by the things that happen to us. We're affected by the way we interpret the things that happen to us.
Yeah.
So you can have two different people who have the exact same external experience, but they react very differently.
Right.
If you understand that your emotions are created by three things, your emotions are created by what you focus on, how
Mm-hmm.
you move your body, and the language that you use. So if during your 5 minutes, during your sun salutation, note the way you need to breathe. And this is a thing that you should be educating yourself about. You watch a video on it. Watch how do you breathe? How do you move? When you are doing the sun salutation, consider that you are practicing breathing like a master, like the sovereign of your kingdom, under stress. When this external stress happens, what you do is flash back to the sun salutation. How are you breathing then? That's the way you should be breathing under stress. So by
Yes.
shifting your focus to your breathing and looking at practicing your breathing as a route to power under stress, you are actually telling the world, bring it, bring
Mm-hmm.
it. Because as long as your breathing is smooth, your limbic system, your hindbrain will interpret, yes, you're under load, but not more than you can handle. This is how we become strong. Okay. So
That
it's
was that.
not toxic positivity. It's not saying, just think positively. No, it's saying your feelings are valid. Your emotions are real. They're very real. Threats are real. Now, let us act with power so that we can defend our hearts, defend the child that we were, defend our families. How do we do that? So every day you are literally practicing how to breathe, act, and focus under stress because you know that in life you are rewarded for how much stress you can take without cracking. That is what life rewards you for. So the warrior walk, the sun salutation, the Turkish get up, wherever you are in terms of the physical path that we've laid out for you, use that as an opportunity to practice being who you really are. This is
Well,
who you
yeah.
are. The
It
world does not tell you who you are. You tell yourself every day who you are. And then you be that person for just 24 hours. All you have to do today is be the person you're committed to being today. That's it. Tomorrow, we'll look at that tomorrow. But today, so you tell me right now, in terms of the challenges that face you, what is the part of you that could do all of this, that would grin at the stress, that could do everything you need to do and have fun in the process? Who is that part of you? Because I have seen that part of you. Who is that part?
it's actually the person that decided he'd raise his hand and talk to you this morning.
Fantastic.
that I,
Yes.
it was one of the things I wanted to add, is that I noticed in the middle of when I had to deal with these stresses that there was an immediate automatic reaction, that I went back to the breathe and gratitude. Happened instantaneously. It was only one breath, and it was one piece of gratitude that said, hey, I'm thankful for this right now because this is going to help me get through this. And it just came automatically. And I was like, that's because of what I'm doing in the morning, that it's making it just automatically come to the surface.
So tell me,
So I
what can
just,
you do today that will be a step towards solving the external problem?
whew. Well, I kind of took care of one of them already. There was a letter I needed to write of clarity to a situation so that they would stop doing what they were doing, which wasn't acceptable. So I handled that, and it was professionally done, and it was successfully received, and so far successfully executed.
That's a major win. A
Yeah,
major win. If you don't do anything else, today is a success. You succeeded. This is one of the good ones. All you have to do. Now, let me ask you a question. This is critical. If you had 100 successful days in a row, would you be in a different place in your life?
yeah, definitely.
Okay, so if you can define that, if you can say, if I could be this person for 100 days, I'd be in a different space. Then all we have to do is help you tweak the actions you need to take that help support the emotions that drive the actions. We can do that for you. If you can define where you need to be, the next week you show up and we'll pump you up again. Just like, 7 days. Just give it 7 days of taking the actions. Notice the results that you get. Do you need to change your actions a little bit? Probably.
Mhm.
Probably, and that's okay. But the most important action is being sure that you are driving your car, that you're
Yes.
not in the back seat of a moving car saying, "Oh, woe is me." You've got your hands on the wheel. Okay,
Yeah.
you will make mistakes. You will go down blind alleys. You might get into a fender bender, but you are learning how to drive. You are actually engaging with the process. So I am proud of you. This is great. This is exact. All there is living one good day at a time, and all
Yeah.
that is living one good moment at a time. That's all there is. So because I have seen you in your power and beauty and joy, what all I have to do is be sure you're taking the actions that will give you more opportunities to be in that power and beauty. When you're on the stage performing, you are in your power. What is the version of that that you can connect with when you first wake up in the morning? So you remember who you are. Remember who you are. You play. I remember when you playing at these conventions and people are shining their love and admiration for you. What do you need to do? That person who holds the stage in that way is the person you need to achieve all your other dreams in life. Just understand that is legitimately who you are.
Uh-huh.
And you're also the person who wakes up in the morning tired and doesn't want to get out of bed. That's you too.
Yeah.
And you get to sort between these things. If I get out of bed, most people will get out of bed to pay these lousy bills. That's okay. And that will get you moving. But when you get out of bed because you get to do something you love, you get to do something for the people that you love, you get to do something in gratitude for life. Now you are acting, you're following the master's path. Avoiding pain might be a path of expertise and success. There are plenty of people who do that. But the master is in love with the process, the
Okay.
process of being the person you need to be. Fall in love with that part.
So a little question then,
Yeah.
because you've uncovered something, and I realize where the damage is. It's a simple comment and a simple set of behaviors that was put on me previously that is actually something that would get in my way of doing that first thing in the morning. And there's a there's a tie to it. Where can you outline to me how where's the line between um honest acknowledgement of self-value and overindulgent ego? Where's the line
Oh,
there?
saying I'm better than I was yesterday. That doesn't say you're better than anybody else.
Okay.
Every day I get better. I am the best Stephen Barnes, born, who grew up on 2110 West View Street in the world. There's nobody like me, but that doesn't mean I'm better than other people.
So
Ego,
the
go ahead.
acknowledgement then, the acknowledgement of value, um, that's what I'm. It's like how that's where it's gotten
Yes,
confused and broken for me. Is the
yes.
place of any acknowledgement, even like saying, "Oh, I'm better than I was yesterday." That's to me, that still looks like a dangerous arrogance.
It's only dangerous if it's delusion. This is why you need to have things you can objectively measure.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I, I'm better at doing this program. In the last 7 days, are you or are you not better at doing your morning ritual?
Yes.
What is the voice inside you then that is lying and telling you that you're not?
It's a gaslight from someone else.
Thank you. So you have identified a gaslight. Where else might that gaslight come? You see? And so we, as brothers, talk about this stuff. And we can say that the path of excellence demands that you understand the voices in your head are not you. You are the one listening to the voices.
Yeah.
If it's true, now run it through the three gates. Let's take everything back to the three gates. Is it true that you didn't get any better? Because you measured yourself. Is it kind to yourself to lie to yourself about whether or not you're getting better? No. Is it kind to the people who depend upon you? No, it's not. So it's not true and it's not kind. Then you already know it ain't useful. You already
Okay.
know that. It's not true and it's not kind. How could it possibly be useful? The person who poisoned you had an agenda. They wanted to keep you small for some reason. Now, maybe it's so that they wouldn't lose you because they're committed to being small and they were afraid of losing. Or maybe it's so that they can feel like they're better than you. I don't know. There might be another reason too. But if I were to ask you, what might be the motivation that someone would have for keeping you small?
They're a psychopathic murderer that has to control everything.
There you go. And if they are violent,
I can
then
truly
you're
say
going.
that they really are sitting in prison for it. So
That's fine. So, but here's the thing: were you afraid of this person?
on some deep level, yes.
So,
In the front of me, I
a
was like, you
psychopathic
know,
killer
yeah,
who puts you down, you could. It's easy to understand how you could want to not anger them, not contradict them.
yeah,
Did that you needed their patronage, or you needed them to not want to hurt you? This is why you have to get in touch with the child inside you and take the position that daddy is
darling, can you
home.
turn the microwave off? Sorry.
Okay,
Let me
you
just turn
need
the
to get in
microwave on
touch
my
with
block. That.
you need to get in touch with the child inside you and let them know that daddy is home and that you will stand between them at any harm, that they have the right to shine, to dance, to sing, and you will not just applaud, but you will stand between them and the wolves outside the door. I cannot promise to win every fight, but I have promised myself that I will die before I let anybody make me one less inch than what I truly am in this life. I've already faced death. What are you going to scare me with? What exactly are you going to scare me with? Been there, done that. Got the t shirt. Okay. I died and all I got was this lousy t shirt. Anyway, you did the right thing by every morning. Let me just do this. Now you have something to be proud of. Now you've got a foundation. Now we can start helping you grow. Thank you for sharing, and we need to move on to Heidi.
Thank you for your help.
You bet. God, love you, man. You're so much fun. Heidi.
Hey, hello, everybody. Hi, Stephen. Thank you, Alexander. It's always good to see you, but especially I relate to your journey and your struggles. So today, I got a 5 on that list, and I've been doing 5 every day for weeks. What I want to share here is a light bulb went on while I was listening earlier, because I've gotten the opportunity to share some of these techniques with others in the last week or so. And it's interesting watching people who receive the information eagerly and the people who dig in their heels and say, "Oh, I can't do that." And then it makes me stop and look at both my communication techniques, but also it's become so easy to get a 5 every day because
Wow.
it takes so much less effort to just do my morning ritual and all of these things than it ever did when I was not doing these things and struggling. That it's just like the sentence a day thing. Once you get into the flow of just doing it, it's easier to just do it than it is to resist it.
See, that's a beautiful switch that you just flew. You just flipped. Once it gets easier to do the things that lead to excellence than it is to not do them, you're on that path. So you're definitely motoring. So I'd like to ask you, um, of the things that we discuss here, what have you found the most useful tool to help you get this major success? You really turned a corner there. What did it
Well,
for you?
honestly, the two things right now, out of as the process has evolved over the last 5 years here, sharing the 5 minute miracle is still at the core of everything. Breathing for a minute every 3 hours, and that was the thing that people were most receptive to receiving here in the last week.
Good.
Um, the writing down of my goals daily has been a
Yeah.
thing because I don't like the idea of being focusing more on I have to be productive, but I have been more productive and I've had a lot more fun doing it and a lot less stress doing it.
This is something I wanted to point out that when you set a goal, your goal should be how can I accomplish X and have fun in the process?
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you're going to be looking at the pain. I've got to struggle to do this. But what happens? How can I make this a game? How can I make it fun?
So here's the thing that I really want to share today because I missed last week because
We missed you.
Wednesday through Sunday I was at a leadership retreat for the Evergreen Association of American Baptists.
Mhm.
With the things that are going on in my life, I'm stepping into the role of being a pastor at a small American Baptist church. And
Beautiful.
this was my first major event within the association of churches that we're part of where I'm the pastor. And that shift of self-image was freaking huge. When I came out of the closet in 1979, being a pastor of an American Baptist church in Alaska was not ever part of what I imagined for my own
Right.
future. And
Right.
here I am showing up and doing the job.
Well, one of the things I wanted to say really quickly, Jaime, if there is any way that I can serve you to become a better shepherd to your flock, you don't have to do anything other than ask. Okay?
Thank you.
Because the entire point of this is to find the people willing to serve, willing to help make the world a better place. You're in a beautiful position to do that.
Well, and so here's the thing that the other little detail that was because it was an extraordinary retreat to be there, but the daughter of the pastor that I'm helping transition in her final days is a published science fiction author as well as an American Baptist bishop in Wisconsin. And one of the other staff members of this Evergreen Association is an aspiring science fiction author who has been to dozens and dozens of science fiction conferences around the planet and is part of the greater science fiction community. And here we are. And it's like to have so many different areas of my life all coming together at the same time, helping me to move forward in all the areas of my life at the same time. It's a little mind blowing and really fun.
So what you do, first of all, total 100% acknowledgement. People, let's give Jaime a hand. This is beautiful. This is what we're looking for. It's not about working harder. It's about being in alignment with your heart and in alignment with the world. You write down, but I want to give you a piece of homework. Write down how the magic formula, how you use the steps of the magic formula to achieve this breakthrough. Who were your mentors and role models? What actions did you take? What were you grateful for, and how did you express that gratitude? What exactly were your intents, and how is your action in alignment with both the child you were and the elder you will be at the last moment of your life? If you would do that, gain that clarity, I guarantee you're going to have something really interesting to tell your flock.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, the first you absorb a system, then you create your own way of expressing it. So I'm not, you can use my tools, of course you can. But what I'm really looking for is for you to integrate them into your life to the point that you can create your own damn tools. This is
Well,
great.
but filled with gratitude and love for all of you. I missed you last week, but I was
Oh, I
having
missed
a
you too.
different kind of fun, and
That's
so
right.
grateful to be here today. Love you.
This is life.
Thanks.
Fantastic. And
And welcome
let's
back.
welcome back. So let's see who volunteer. Oh, Michelle. Let's get to know Michelle a little bit. Hi, sweetheart.
Hi. Oh, there it is. I am doing well today. I think I'm not using your system exactly because I'm still reading Warrior Walk. I do have a copy,
You
but
have any questions for us?
I don't. I feel like it's very straightforward and like it's kind of blowing my mind.
Yeah, it kind of blew my mind too. So
Yeah.
what do you find about it? Let's have a micro conversation about it,
Yeah.
perhaps. Unless there's something, is there something you'd like to discuss? Anything we can do to serve you, or anything you wanted to
Well,
share?
I want to tell you that before I even got it, I wanted to thank you because I was struggling with, including my strength training and trying to get my, my physical pieces with all of the writing pieces that I had set up in place. But I started to do my Pilates and I went from 2 times a week to 3 times a week. And I'm just building each
Fantastic.
each week. So I'm just doing like mat work with like flat bands and resistance training. And that has changed
Great.
everything. The Pacific Northwest is less crazy and rainy. So I can start my walking again. I'm slightly ahead of schedule on my screenplay. I'm almost done with what I'm calling Act
I love this
2A.
woman.
And then I should be on to Act 2B by next week, and then Act 3. And my goal is to be done at the end of Q1. And then that's when I'm starting up my short stories so I can submit them. And I already have a couple in the hopper, but it's just like I need to polish and just
Well,
like
Amazing.
focus.
Sounds
this is
great.
amazing. This is
Yeah, so I
amazing.
wanted to thank you for
I don't
that.
even, I would like you to get on here with this beautiful lady, and you guys have a little conversation, which just give her a little wisdom.
I don't see how to spotlight. I don't know where I'm. Oh, there I am. Hey, well, congrats. You have it all together. As someone who's also working with the weights, I'm not used to doing specific weight training. So it's very exciting for me to see those amounts of weights that I can handle growing as I do the warrior walk. So high five to you if you're seeing results. And have you seen any kind of synergy between working with your body and working on your writing?
Yes, it is. There is a clarity that happens that I forgot that comes with physical movement or of any kind. Because, I did have a practice before. I hurt myself. I got out of the practice. I was on a train to Excuse Town. And honestly, it was listening to both of you and like kind of like, it is. It's like tough love. It's like you can't do this, one, without a plan, and two, you have to do what you say you're going to do so you can be honest with yourself and not betray yourself. So that's like it's like it's so simple, it's so straightforward, but there's so many things that our minds and environments we can allow to kind of get in our way. But
Absolutely.
yeah, I feel like once I figured out something, I was like, okay, I could do this. So my morning is my meditation and affirmation. Sometimes I do two affirmations because sometimes I just need it. And still making my bed every morning is like a little thing that I do. Um, Always do meditation, always do affirmation. Sometimes I knit, sometimes I read in the morning. I've had times where I slipped off the wagon trying to be on social less, but sometimes like I get sucked in the TikTok hole, but I like start over again the next day and just like every day is a new day to start over again. And so I don't
That's
beat
yes,
myself up. So
that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
key.
every day is a new life.
yeah. And I do have
Every
Yeah,
one
day
question.
is a new life. Yes,
because
please.
guilt is one of the weapons we use to sabotage ourselves.
Yeah,
It's
it's
one of the
the
weapons the ego uses
worst.
to stop you from killing it.
Yeah,
So,
it's
what's
the
your
worst.
question, sweetheart?
So my question is, I am like doggedly moving through writing this screenplay, and I have my beat sheet up, like my beat cards, I have them up. And when I get lost, I kind of look, but I realize there are things that are bubbling up as I'm writing that make more sense or fill out the beats. So I'm just like, you know what, Michelle, don't do what you usually do. And like I do what you do to Reeve. I go back as I'm writing and start doing that. But I was like, I know myself, I'll never finish if I do that. So I'm just like barreling through. And I'm in my mind, I'm typing and typing. I was like, ooh, this sucks, but I'm going, I'm going. So I just feel like once I'm done, what can I do to make my editing be effective and like, you know, really kind of enhance those pieces that are coming to me as I'm writing that feel like they
Okay,
make more sense, but it's not strictly to the beat sheet. Does
okay.
that make
Well,
So
first of all, don't
you
discard it.
start to.
Yeah, don't discard any of that stuff. I mean, as a matter of fact, I mean, I don't want to get in the way of your process. You say you know yourself, and if you let yourself hair off in different directions, you won't finish. So your priority is to finish. But if I were working on it and I had a beat sheet and I found myself coming up with what I think is a better solution or a better moment, I would just change it in the moment. But if that means it would rewrite your whole outline and you think you'd get lost in that, then forget what I just said, but don't discard any of those ideas because they actually may be superior paths. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, so I would say when you finish it, put it away for a week. Go back, reread it. Ask yourself. There are many different ways you can do rewriting, but I know that one that is really powerful is ask yourself, what do you want people to feel? And it's not just the audience. If you want to sell this, what do you want the executive to feel when they finish your story? You art is a transfer of emotion. If you can identify the way you want people to feel at the end, then you can look at every scene and you can say, how does this scene help to support that emotion that they want to feel, that you want them to feel at the very end? And any scene that increases that emotion with integrity is a good scene. If it decreases it or doesn't do anything, it's just flat and lays there on the page. It was clever, but it does not help you to understand the people or their world or moves things forward. It goes, no matter how much you liked it. It goes unless you feel really confident. There are comedies, certain kinds of absurdist comedies can stop and just have a scene because we'll laugh at Bill Murray, being a crazy groundskeeper. Kung fu movies can often stop for a training sequence where people are just beating each other up. Yeah, because this is the world. Love stories can stop for a love scene. It doesn't necessarily advance the plot, but it deepens our understanding of this world. The rewrite, you need to have a philosophy of rewriting. And it doesn't have to be mine, it doesn't have to be Tananari's, but it could be. I would strongly suggest, and I mean this, that you listen to what Tananari says about it, okay? And you try what she's doing. You listen to what I say about it, and you try. But you don't have to try both of ours at the same time, or either of us. Finish the damn script. You know that there are all these other doors, all these things trying to get you to distract yourself. Get it finished. Put it aside. Come back and read it as if someone else wrote it. Your job is to finish. Then you
Yeah,
move
I
into
would agree because if
so
you can't trust that those new ideas aren't procrastination in disguise, then it's best to stick with the ideas that you started out with. But
yeah, write them.
as you develop as a writer, you're going to gain an instinct for when, because the thing that people are afraid of with outlining is that it's set in stone and that you're locked into something. And I'm writing an outline for a novel I want to sell as an outline to a publisher right now. I know good and dang well. I mean, I've had cases where I never even looked at that outline again. And I've had cases where I followed that outline religiously because I forgot literally what it was supposed to be. So it can be both or either or a combination of those things. But because you don't trust yourself, that's what I'm hearing is like, nah, stick with what you're doing. And then Steve is right. Have a philosophy of the rewrite, and don't even start rewriting until you let a couple people read it. I would also say
There
try
you
to get
go.
beta readers.
Another very important thing. I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
That one of the greatest wealths you can have as a human being is a circle of trusted friends and advisors. If people who are walking the same path as you or appreciate the path that you're walking, it doesn't have to be another writer. It could be somebody who just knows how to read a script. Okay.
Mhm.
But a person who's another writer is perfect, and a person who's more advanced than you is better still. But you have to earn your way into those circles.
And
So
it's hard to find people.
the
Yeah.
life writing professional, for instance, or the life writing site is filled with people who want to write. There's tons of them on there. Not all of them will have the right advice for you, but I think that all of them will have your well-being in mind. And so that, so you could say, this is the emotion I want people to feel. You could have an unexperienced reader read the script and ask, did you feel that? What did you feel? If they felt the emotion you wanted, you're good. Okay, you're going in the right direction. If they're experienced, they might be able to give you specific advice about how to fix it, but just their reaction is of huge value. Remember, you're asking them to invest their time. So another thing you might do is write a 3-page outline of the story you wanted to tell, that a synopsis, in 3 pages, as if you were telling a friend about a movie you saw last night. This is what happened. Just what happened. Boom, 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 boom. 3 pages or less. Ask them if they'd read those 3 pages. Get their reactions to it. Sometimes stripping things down to their essentials is the best way to understand how people are going to feel about it because they don't get lost in the minutia. It's the broad strokes. Does that make sense?
It totally does. Thank you. And thank you for the advice of having the watch along where you watch your favorite movie with the script because it
Oh my
is
God.
really helpful. And watching
Yeah,
the scripts of writer directors is also like a whole different like
it definitely
energy.
is.
And
Yeah.
seeing what they
Yeah.
cut out is very interesting too.
Yes. Yes.
So thank
Yes.
you very, very much. We're
Thank
out of our
you.
time here. So let's get Tananarive on here. Um,
Yeah,
and-
we are out of time. I was about to start making my lunch.
okay.
So everybody, thank you for being here today. This was a great group and a great conversation. So you know how we do it. You go out and make yourselves the hero or heroine of your own story.
The hero in the adventure of your lifetime. Unmute yourselves and everybody say goodbye. This is our family.
Bye.
Bye,
We're in this
everybody.
together.
See you next week, I
Everybody,
hope.
Together.
see
Everybody.
you
Have a
next
Love you
wonderful
week.
all.
weekend.
Love
Be
to
See
well.
you
you.
next week.
Weekend.
Bye,
Love you.
everybody.
Right.
Be well.
Bye bye.